Imagine a woman that is feminine, fun, fit, a great cook, and an adult film actress in the bed? Now, you've got two options. Keep dreaming, or assume the odds of her checking all those boxes are nearly zero. And let me tell you, that's not a bad thing, because if everyone was perfect, this mundane life wouldn't be fun at all. Despite everyone's imperfection, you just need a few dating and overall life experiences to realize how predictable some people are. Yes, both men and women. Let me give you a clear example. In general, men live their lives chasing women, whereas women live their lives looking for male attention. That's why both genders dress up and wear fancy fragrances at parties. Most women easily get a man, and most men have no luck. The timeless 80-20 rule. As a result, these unsuccessful men either try to better themselves to get more girls, or just give up because dating is not worth it. Low ROI and girls playing the victim role does not encourage them to participate in the dating scene. And guess what? Now these single guys, whether they know it or not, are putting the MGTOW philosophy into practice and becoming happier again. Today, I will share with you why most men have escaped the dating marketplace and embraced singlehood voluntarily. Stay tuned because you're going to love it. But before we go deeper, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Noob Cybot, good name. He said, "The odd thing I noticed about the career types is they think they know what other people are thinking. They're pretty arrogant about it too. At the core, they're still chicks, which means they still run from things like responsibility. The words, 'it is your fault,' bring panic to these people." Noob Cybot, you're absolutely right. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5. As usual guys, I will pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Now, back to the video. Now, I have extensive dating experience, so let me share with you an impression I discussed with a friend of mine who also embraces the MGTOW philosophy. He got sick and tired of dating because he found that modern women tend to be so immature, childish, entitled, and combative. He even told me he tried to be a gentleman, and in fact, he refused to put them on a pedestal just because they're women. Surprisingly, most of these women couldn't bear the thought of not being valued for their beauty. So, they exited the relationship right away. Yes, you heard that right. The same happened to me on multiple occasions. I wondered why that beautiful women ran away, but after doing some thinking and talking with this friend of mine, that was the reason. That made me wonder why on earth most women talk about wanting to be treated as humans when they end up treating themselves as if they were objects. It's a huge and blatant contradiction, but I guess that's the result of lots of indoctrination. On the other hand, if you've ever used a dating app, it can be fairly dehumanizing as an average guy. You quickly realize most women think you aren't even worth a passing consideration. The vast majority of women consider you and most guys subpar. And then comes navigating the minefield of being expected to make all the first moves while not being awkward, while being unrealistically confident and outgoing, trying not to weird a woman out for qualities that make you unique, despite those qualities being fairly common and normal, trying to simultaneously be respectful of consent, but being expected to be assertive and confident. Most young men not making the kind of money women fantasize about, struggling with your own life while walking on eggshells to not lose someone who is actively looking for any possible red flag to give an excuse to ghost you. It's like women are trying to look for defects instead of virtues. So, men prefer working on themselves to impress themselves, not women who will not value a man's efforts. To be more specific, dating has become unsatisfying. As hard as it may sound, there are a lot of women who only want to use men for free food and drinks whilst having intimacy with another man. That is true, and our modern society doesn't value men as much as in the past. Women get their pick of who they want to date, and in terms of love and relationships, the majority of men are left out in the cold. In other words, they're invisible. There is no incentive for most men to invest time and effort into the woman they are with because she can just trade him up for someone who has more, and unless he is a perfect man who is the whole package, there is always someone who has more. After 30, most men realize that women don't care about them as a person, but as a resource provider. aka a quote-unquote walking ATM. When men finally get ahead, they will get to pick and choose who they get to be with, on his terms and not hers. Most men, rightfully, will put themselves first because he knows that she won't, and that she will still follow him if he is selfish. Being kind and supportive unfortunately gets you nowhere with the female gender, no matter how much modern women insist otherwise. Well, they do look for that on a man usually after hitting the wall, and at that point, most men have suffered from heartbreak so many times that they don't want to make the same mistake again. And to wrap my argument up, let me share with you a simple analogy that will remove all doubts you may have. Imagine you've put a fair amount of your savings into what you consider to be a good investment. You fantasize about all sorts of great returns, and you tell yourself to deal with the highs and lows because it'll pay off in the long run. Then, you lose it all. Gone. Nothing at all. You decide it was just bad luck, so when the next opportunity comes along, you invest once more, though this time, more cautiously. You lose it all again. Frustration piles up. Naturally, you reach a point where you want to hold on to what little savings you have left. You put it in a nice, safe account, earning minimal interest, and you're just fine with that. This doesn't mean you don't splurge a bit every now and again, but it's at your own discretion when you know you can spare the funds. And sadly, that's it. Men have lost their interest in dating not only because of changing gender equations, priorities, lifestyle choices, behavioral patterns, or the natures of women. It's mainly because the culture of life itself has changed. Women are just one half of the change. We live in a disposable culture. If it wears out or gets broken, we quickly replace it. We also believe in speed and ease of operation. Fast and cheap dopamine are easily accessible. Modern relationships tend to be quite artificial, and it seems that being real is no longer cool. Everyone out there wants honesty until they get it from someone they're dating or they're friends with. We apply this to human dynamics as well. Marriage ain't working? Divorce doesn't have the stigma it used to. Why date when you can go to the club and hook up with a one-night stand partner? Why build relationships and pair bonding when it's perfectly okay to be friends with benefits? Modern culture has made it acceptable to go from relationship to relationship, so most men who wanted a wife to take care of their children have abandoned that beautiful idea. On the other hand, women are looking for top-tier Prince Charming kind of guys, but instead of being really picky, they have casual relationships with multiple men and go every time for the best man they can get without any regrets whatsoever, any look or insight into their character. At some point, they might come back to the nice guy they were physical with, especially after breaking up with a quote-unquote Chad or a bad boy who wasn't really into the idea of having a solid relationship. Now, the man who sees her coming back rarely accepts her because he's sure she's had quite a few rides in the meantime, and he's not willing to be part of her quote-unquote young days fun. In other words, those good guys learn their lesson and prefer staying single to protect themselves from modern-day tactics many women try to use. No more Mr. Nice Guy is a buzz phrase more men are accepting these days, so they end up being either ruthless in the dating marketplace or in most cases, get the f*** out of there because the juice is again not worth the squeeze. All in all, I hope you understood these reasons. If you decide to go your own way too, expect a life full of peace. At the end of the day, that's what matters the most, and only through times of reflection will you improve yourself and define what you want your life to look like. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? What are your reasons not to date? What does your entourage think of your decision? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, hit the like and subscribe buttons, comment and share it. It really does help us grow. See you in the next video. Till next time.